You gotta love the times we're in. So this is a website, Asset Law Insider. I've been using this. It's been around for I don't know how long. I've been using it for the past most recent 4 couple years. Now, when I first started using it, it didn't have AI integration, so it was a lot more manual, if you will. Real quick, this is a website that uses actual contracts from actual companies in the real world. It looks at their contracts, it looks at their agreements, and it just basically shares it with you. It's an archive, if you will. And it's pretty much used as a reference for when you're doing your contracts, when you're doing agreements, things like that. It's used by actual lawyers and professionals in this particular space. So when I started making agreements for our company, this is what I was referencing. So I was using actual templates from various operating agreements of various holding companies to basically structure my template. Basically structure our operating agreement. Great website, and I just wanted to share that. So basically, I'm looking at some templates of asset management companies, right? So I'm going to go and find some templates. I'm going to type in just different asset management companies, and just look at their templates. They done made it so efficient now to where basically the main page was an AI, and all I just did was just type in asset management, and then here he gives us a definition. So let me go to search clauses. Let's go to contracts, employment agreement, credit agreement. Let's go to asset management. Asset management agreement. Oh shit. Property and service. So boom. Property and asset management agreement works just fine. This is one of those things when they say that, okay, the advantage of the time and day that we live in, right? Because this type of information, but again, I'll say this too, this is where competency comes into play and literacy, right? Because this type of information, basically, people are out here paying people thousands of dollars to make them agreements when a motherfucker may not even be using this. Motherfucker's probably going on, what's it called? Legal doom. That's just one lawyer dude be saying. But you can see, okay, boom. Contract type, file. This is a real company. Strategic Realty Trust. Industry Real Estate Investment Trust. So you can actually come and look. We can come and look at their actual agreement. Let me see, maybe view source. Boom, there you go. And literally, you do need to, it does help to understand, right? But from here, it's just basically a matter of plug and play, right? So this property asset management agreement, whereas the company, boom, put your company in. And this also helps get a real understanding, a thorough understanding of business structure, the back end of it. You see, it's talking about general accounting principles, GAAP, budgets, operating plans, all that good shit. Leasing. So boom, I'm gonna do property and asset. I have a property and asset management company. I need a property and asset management agreement. All right, that's my TED Talk. Okay, why is this important? In the business space, because you hear people, entrepreneur, blah, 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 blah. You're not taken serious in the business space unless you have an operating agreement. That's what actually makes you a business, is an operating agreement. The boy Dante Kyle was speaking on it about how niggas try to do business like they hustling dope. You know what I mean? Just no structure, no whatsoever. Banks, for the most part, won't even do business with you until they see a signed operating agreement, or at least a certificate of the agreement. Because the operating agreement is a private document. This is why if you notice on the previous page, they were showing certain things were blocked out. Yeah, which is perfectly within the realm of business, right? Yeah, you can block certain shit out because it's a private document between the company, its members, blah blah blah. But yeah, that's why this matters though, because it's, again, as I always say, there's a difference between running a business and just getting money. And this is one of those things to where it's like learning a new language, right? Where if you just mess around with it, if you just explore it, and just read through certain things, it starts to make sense, right? A lot of things start to stand out and become clear. This shit is like, I'd say this is a business administration class on speed. I don't know why I couldn't think of another fucking analogy, but it's what it is. But pretty much, very, very, yeah, very, very accelerated. That's the proper terminology. Very, very accelerated, right? So, for example, I just type in asset management agreement, right? So, boom. Like usually before, when I first started using it, I ain't that fucking old shit. I was been using it for like at least 3 years ago, 2023 when I was using it. You would still just have to type it in and then go to the different agreements. Here, they just pretty much gathered the basics of the certain agreements. The reason why I like this though, and still reference this compared to chat, for one, they integrated chat, right? So that's one thing. But two, because it has actual companies, right? So you can see what the actual company itself said, and each company has different objectives. So you can pretty much correspond your objectives to other companies' objectives, right? And then you start to read between the lines and see the language, right? For one, you see everything is fucking trust. Where's more? Trust. And I didn't type in trust. I typed in, I didn't type in anything, just companies, right? So you start seeing, just generally speaking, most companies is operating through trust, right? Okay, so boom. I need to make sure I'm familiar with trust dynamics, right? Then you start seeing things like funds trust, funds, Northwest funds, Ashton funds. Okay, so what is it? What is funds, right? So then you start beginning to understand the distinction of funds, right? But yeah, that's why I like this one. iShares Trust, insurance products, series trust. Even like, and then you start to read between the lines and see like like a series, right? That's pretty much a company that's the subsidiary of a bigger company, right? But series are cool because usually when you start a company, you need to do all new paperwork in regards to with the secretary. With the series, you don't. It just needs to be acknowledged that, hey, this is a series, right? So boom, series fund. Let's see if we can look at the sub-advisory agreement. Boom. Second amended. And this is when I started noticing too, that these motherfuckers don't be really knowing everything from the gate when it comes to doing certain shit in the business space, but they just figure it out because there's so many amended and restated agreements, right? And amended, and see, this was the second one, right? There could be, ain't no telling how many, right? But basically, when you amend and restate the agreement, all you're doing is saying, hey, that first one, we missed some things, we want to add some things. So let's go ahead and amend and restate it. Boom. And you'll see so many amended and restated ones where it's like, oh, so just start the shit, right? So, and again, this isn't fucking legal advice, blah, 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 all the disclaimer, entertainment, educational purposes only. And I tell people all the time, if you want to start your trust or your business, whatever, start it. And in your agreement, include a clause that says the owner, member, blah, 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 has the discretion to amend and restate this agreement at their discretion. You can literally start a company, have that on the only page, and you're official. Because what that amendment clause does is it gives you the opportunity to come back and add to it. right? To where, because shit's gonna happen when you start the company to where it's like, okay, you know what? I need to come back and do this other shit. Or yeah, I need to make sure I need to take this out. You get what I'm saying? To where I mean, and it's that time of the year we're doing our paperwork amendments and things like that. So again, just staying sharp, looking at certain things, updating things. Like, okay, let me see how they did this. Yeah.